How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the Cosmic Wonder. I'm your host, Warren Thompson, and D23 is right around the corner. Now, most of us are still coming down from the high that we got off of all of the reveals from Marvel Studios at San Diego Comic-Con, where they revealed all of Phase 5, or at least they made it seem like they revealed all of Phase 5. There could be more coming from that. And they revealed 3 projects from Phase 6, which of course is the Fantastic Four. And then of course they revealed the 2 new Avengers films coming, Avengers: The Kang Dynasty and Avengers: Secret Wars. And today it has been officially announced that Marvel Studios will be attending D23. Of course, we knew this was going to happen. This was a no-brainer, but they made the official announcement today. So let's talk about what to expect from Marvel Studios. Now, I did a couple of videos on what these projects in Phase 6 could be. That's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about realistically, what is Marvel going to actually reveal to us? And of course, I know what everybody is hoping for. I'm hoping for it too, and that is X-Men news. I'll talk about if I think we're going to get some X-Men news, but also news about the Fantastic Four. I think some pretty big news is coming up for them, which could be the casting reveal. And although I would hope that they would reveal the rest of Phase 6 at D23, we really never can be sure, but I do know that there should be one project revealed at D23 for Phase 6 that has not been revealed yet. So first and foremost, let's talk about the Fantastic Four news before diving into this other project and diving into the X-Men. Because of course we had John Krasinski in the MCU as Mr. Fantastic Reed Richards. Now of course he was not in our main 616 universe, however they announced Secret Wars. We know that even if John Krasinski does not play our main Mr. Fantastic, he can still show up again in Secret Wars. Obviously not the same one that we saw in Multiverse of Madness because he's kind of spaghetti right now, but a different version that could be played by John Krasinski. But will he be playing the main Mr. Fantastic in the Earth 616 universe? Well, 2 things about this. One is that recently John Krasinski went on Jimmy Fallon and he kind of gave us some teases. It was the first time he went on since Multiverse of Madness. Of course, they were talking about him playing Reed Richards, and in a typical Marvel actor fashion, he could not say anything. He just joked around a lot.
Jimmy, I'm going to tell you on your show,
Oh my gosh, someone killed him right now. Can we get a medic?
That's actually
acting right there.
No, it's actually a Marvel dart. There's
A Marvel dart. There's a guy walking around.
He then was asked about his wife because, of course, as most people know, fans have really been wanting him to play Mr. Fantastic and his wife, Emily Blunt, to play the Invisible Woman. So Jimmy Fallon asked him about that, and this is what he said.
Yeah, and there's also a rumor that your wife, Emily Blunt, will play Sue Storm.
Oh.
Making the first husband. You think? You think?
So obviously he can't really answer. He even makes the joke about somebody from Marvel Studios shooting him with a dart in the neck, knocking him out. But I do believe that this could be used to build up hype for D23, where we could be getting an official announcement, which is the second thing. Rumors have been going around that we are indeed set for a Fantastic Four casting announcement at D23. Now, I want to reiterate, this is a rumor, it is not confirmed. But if we actually take a second and think about this, it would make sense for them to announce the cast if they have the cast already picked. However, they have given us the release date for the Fantastic Four, and given this timeline, it seems like Marvel Studios should have already chosen the cast. The official release date for the Fantastic Four coming to the MCU is November 8th of 2024. We are almost in November of 2022, just a few months away, which means that the Fantastic Four is basically 2 years away. And that's about how long it takes to make a movie, especially a really big one like the Fantastic Four, and we do know that Kevin Feige is putting a lot of his time into the Fantastic Four because it is a very important project to him. So from the start, from the concept to getting screenwriters, directors, producers, getting the script written, pre-production, principal photography, and post-production, that all takes about 2 years. And since Kevin Feige considers this so important to him, it would make sense that the cast would have already been picked. After all, consider this. Taron Egerton the other day opened up and said that he met with Marvel Studios 4 years ago about playing Cyclops in the MCU. That's before the deal with Fox was even done, or at least was right around when it got finished. That would have been casting way in advance, like years upon years. So it's definitely likely that the Fantastic Four have been cast for the MCU already, and we'll talk about Taron Egerton and the X-Men in just a bit. But as far as a huge announcement for D23, we know that Marvel Studios needed to save some some really big things for D23, which is crazy considering they announced 2 new Avengers films at SDCC. That is huge. That's pretty much as big as it gets. So what other huge news could they release at D23? Well, of course, the 2 biggest things that we think of are the Fantastic Four cast and, of course, the X-Men. Now, if you recall, at SDCC of 2019, which was the last SDCC that Marvel Studios attended before this last one, the last thing that Kevin Feige talked about was the Fantastic Four and the Mutants. Now, we got our Fantastic Four news, they gave us the release date, and hopefully we get casting as well, but we got nothing about the X-Men or the Mutants. However, that could change at D23. That could be the big announcement that Marvel Studios was saving for this event. Now, based off of what Taron Egerton has said, it looks like Marvel Studios has been planning for the X-Men for a very long time. In an interview, in 2 separate interviews actually, he said that he met with Marvel Studios 4 years ago. Apparently, Kevin Feige was talking to him about playing Cyclops in the MCU. He turned it down because he didn't want to play a character and commit to that character for a number of years who had his eyes covered the entire time. This is great news. This means that Kevin Feige has been working on the X-Men project in the MCU for years now. It's also good news for the Fantastic Four, like I mentioned, but since Kevin Feige has been working on the X-Men for years, that probably means that he knows when he wants the X-Men to debut, and heck, it could even be in Phase 6. Think about this. If you know the story of Secret Wars, you know that it involves everybody, but not just everybody and their variants. The Fantastic Four play a huge part, but we know they're coming before Secret Wars, but the X-Men also do play a big part as well. And Marvel knows that this event is going to be absolutely huge, and the X-Men/Mutants need to be there, which is why they have introduced Kamala Khan as the MCU's first mutant. Now, not too long ago, Kevin Feige did say we're going to start to see where everything is going. Not too long after that, they introduced Kamala Khan as the first mutant, and now they introduced all of this at SDCC, and we have a lot to talk about at D23. It seems like an X-Men announcement is coming. It seems like that is going to be the big reveal at D23, especially if they're going to be a part of the MCU before Secret Wars. And yes, I have heard the stuff about the contract of not being able to use the X-Men until 2025, but theoretically, if it's a general Fox contract for the Fox Marvel characters, that should apply to the Fantastic Four as well, and the Fantastic Four are coming in 2024, so that contract might not be all what we think it is. Plus, not to mention, Kevin Feige was trying to cast Cyclops 4 years ago, so that doesn't seem to be too much of an issue. So, fingers crossed for a X-Men/Mutant announcement at D23. And just so everybody is aware, D23 is from September 9th to September 11th. Now, a project that has been announced but has not yet been revealed is a Nova project. And recently some insiders have stated that we should be getting the Nova project before Secret Wars and the Kang Dynasty. This means that Nova is indeed a part of Phase 6. And even if they aren't going to reveal completely and entirely Phase 6, I do still think that we'll get that Nova announcement because that has already been announced by the major trades out there like Deadline and Hollywood Reporter. And after the announcement, everybody was talking about it, so we all essentially know about it by now. And there were some rumors that Ryan Gosling could be playing Nova, and recently Kevin Feige was talking about how he would love to find a place in the MCU for Ryan Gosling because he thinks he's amazing. Now, of course, he's not just going to come out and say, oh yeah, Ryan Gosling's great, he's going to play Nova. He obviously can't say that if he's already been casted, but if they have already got a Nova, I would expect an announcement for the movie and a casting announcement as well. Now, the last thing I think we can realistically expect is the director announcement for Avengers Secret Wars. We already know that Destin Daniel Cretton, the director of Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, is going to be directing the Kang Dynasty. Shang-Chi is in my top 5 favorite MCU movies now. I think that movie is amazing, so I think this is a great choice. And I know a lot of people want the Russo brothers to come back and direct Secret Wars. They've talked plenty of times about what it would take for them to come back to the MCU, and they've always said Secret Wars or a Wolverine project, and Secret Wars kind of gives them the opportunity to do both since the X-Men should be in Secret Wars. Now again, Kevin Feige and the Russo brothers have said that nope, the Russos aren't directing Secret Wars, but again, they can't come out and say it. But since we have a director for the Kang Dynasty, I'm assuming we have a director for Secret Wars, and I'm assuming that if that's true, we do get an announcement for it at D23. So realistically, I think this is what we can expect, of course, along with some other project reveals. Hopefully we get that fantastic forecasting announcement. Hopefully we get something about the mutants, and I'm hoping we get an actor announcement for Nova. But let me know what you are most excited for in the comments down below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the latest news. For live updates, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.